So one thing that's really important about this game is backstabs, which you just did. So very good timing.
Right bumper.
Yeah. Well, you have to be right behind them when you do it. And a lot of enemies, that's the best way to kill them.
Doesn't matter if it's right trigger or right bumper?
It's right bumper.
Okay.
And because what it'll do is it'll pause for a second while you do that animation. While you do that animation, you're invincible. So, like, if you do it in a crowd of enemies, you can kill the one guy, and you'll still be okay.
Take no damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
While you're doing the animation.
And I'm guessing that guy's still dead?
Yep, still dead.
Okay.
Always going to be dead.
Always.
See, if you go down those stairs, you can unlock a shortcut, though, that'll lead you back to the start, should you want to go that way. This game has a ton of these, and they're like one of the best ways to keep going through the game, because you can activate a shortcut, and then it's like, you know, a third of the time you go back to where you were.
Now wait a minute. That's the same door I pushed earlier, right?
Yeah.
So I can go.
Don't go in there just yet.
Okay.
There's a better way.
Okay.
So go back up to the spot you were before, where you died.
All right.
Because, see, that's the thing that's cool about this game, too, is that when you die, you can recover... When you see you have your experience counter down in the lower right, when you die, you lose all the experience you have. But, if you get back to where you died and pick up your bloodstain, you can revive. And you can get all of those experience points back.
So long as you don't die, like, 2 times.
As long as you don't die on the way getting back there. Yeah, now see, if you lock on, backstab, you're way easier. And if you hit left and right then if you hit like left and right on the right stick, when you're blocking, you'll change targets too.
Okay.
I wouldn't really try parrying yet if I was you. It's pretty hard to get down. I don't even really have it down perfectly a lot yet.
Right.
It's a lot of things require really specific timing.
You know, I'm just gonna.
But you can get your souls and kill it. See, now you got all your experience.
Okay, let me try that one time.
If you want to try something too, press forward and right bumper right at the same time when you're close to him, and his shield's up.
Oh, nice.
You'll do a kick and see if he has his shield up, that'll stun him, and you can attack him.
Okay.
A lot of larger enemies that's not too useful with, but on small guys like this, it can be really good if they're like turtling up and being really defensive.
Yeah, you definitely don't have a huge amount of health.
Yeah. Well, see, you can increase your health too, and you can eventually increase how much health your flasks restore too.
Gotcha. So what do we have in here? Oh.
Drop down and press attack while you're in the air. That's a plunge attack.
Whoa. Dude, I took down almost out of his hill. Aha. You returned the favor, my fat friend. Okay, let's not roll towards him, shall we?
Yeah, see, this guy, you want to be behind him. And now locking on might not necessarily be the best thing to do. Because if you disengage lock on, you can run around him way easier.
Gotcha.
See, good, you got your healing there because you want to run away, you know?
No. Okay.
There's a joke among the Dark Souls community because a lot of the bosses, like, your strategy is to basically just attack their butt. It sounds really dumb, but, like, for most bosses, that's, like, the best place you can be. Now, see, you want to be careful about attacking too much, because when he winds up his next attack, you don't want to be there.
Right.
So, like, you know, attack once or twice, and then when he's going to make his next move.
Oh, jeez. Oh, really? You're gonna sit on me? That's a tactic?
He's pretty big.
He is pretty big. He's a hefty boy. Okay, so... now we'll go in for the kill. Huh, well...
he's only got one shot on him left.
Right there.
And
right,
you got him.
right in the hind corners. Look at that. Big Pilgrim's Key. You defeated.
And that's your way out of here.
Hey.
And that humanity, which is what you just got, that's what you use to turn back into a human.
Okay. And I want to be a human because...
When you're a human, you can summon other people to your world to help you out. And that's the co-op aspect of this game.
Okay.
Is that... Because when you're human, you'll find little signs on the ground. And these signs can... when you find those signs, you can summon somebody. And the summons are actually other people.
Oh, cool.
And most of the time, people use it to beat bosses. Hit A. Go ahead and hit A. Yeah, that way.
Huh. Yes, sir, Mr. or Mrs. Yes,
See,
ma'am.
that liar message there, too, that message, that was written by a player. That's another thing you can do in this game. All those orange messages from now on are written by people
Really?
who are playing the game. Yeah.
Okay, so the one... It had,
All
it
these
had a
one-
rating.
Yeah, so you can rate a message, and when you rate a message, if you rate it plus, then that guy will get humanity. Now it's rating 1. You just gave that guy humanity.
So, how do they figure who wrote it? The game will randomly pick somebody else that's playing online.
Well,
and
no,
pop that in
because
there.
you can get an item and it lets you write messages, and there's like a pre-listed list of like phrases you can pick from and stuff. So you can say like "danger ahead" or like "use
you
fire
can't
weapon."
put your own personal message.
You can, yeah, you can't like write it out,
Okay.
but you can pick from like a list of options.
So am I a free man now?
Well, you're out of the asylum.
Well, let's take a look. Oh! What do we have here?
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
I won't say this game. It's not like graphically wise. It's not like high end. Like there's definitely stuff that looks better, but it's got a pretty nice art style
To
and like
leave
aesthetic
the undead
sensibility.
asylum
It has some very depressing places.
to the land.
Well,
of the
that's what
ancient
we're here for,
lords.
right?
Yeah,
Just to be depressed and sob.
yeah.
Okay.
Lord
It makes for good emotion and good emotional responses from the players.
So this is Lordran here. Lordran is basically it's like the land of the gods. It's like the Olympus of the Dark Souls world.
So I have status now.
Well, this is where all of the undead sort of find their way to. And that, remember when the guy back in the asylum gave you the quest to ring the 2 bells, and you got your bonfire here that you can rest at.
Okay. Hey, let's read the message. Oh, I can...
And now you can level up too.
Okay, what's Kindle?
Kindle is if you have humanity, you can burn a humanity in the fire, and that will let you use more Estus flasks. So see, this bonfire is a
okay.
special bonfire. So see, now you have 10 flasks instead of 5.
Gotcha.
And eventually you get an item, and from the get-go, you can level everything up to 10, because most of them are just 5 when they start out. But eventually you can get an item that will let you level all of them up to 20 Estus flasks
Okay.
per bonfire.
I'm going to go ahead and reverse my undead status. Is that good or bad?
For now, I'd say it's bad, because while you can reverse your hollowing, as soon as you die, you go back to being hollow.
And chances are, being a noob...
Yes, you will die very
Okay.
soon.
But it doesn't, like, hinder my experience? or
No,
anything?
no, nothing like that.
Oh.
There's no... and you can... When you're human form, you can summon people, but you can also be invaded, which is other players coming into your game and trying to kill you.
Okay, so if you want to be left alone to be a hermit,
Yeah.
just stay undead?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like a risk-reward thing. So, I'll explain the stats, because it's pretty damn complicated. Whenever you level up, a bunch of generic stats will increase, like all those physical defense stats and everything.
Right,
Those all
right.
go up. And stats are kind of split into 2 categories. Vitality is... There's, like, the general stats, and then there's the damage-dealing stats. And the general one's vitality, more health.
Okay.
Pretty simple. Endurance, more stamina. And also a higher equip load, so you can equip more and heavier gear and still be able to be lighter. So like your equip load is 54. Normally with like each point of endurance you get +1 equip load and plus some stamina. Attunement is spells.
Okay.
And now you picked a bandit, and bandits start off with pretty damn low attunement. You don't actually get a spell slot until you hit 10.
Oh.
And attunement, every few points of attunement you'll get another slot you can cast a spell.
Are there many spells bandits use?
Well,
Like-
like I said, your class doesn't really mean anything. If you meet the stat requirements, anybody can use anything.
Oh, okay.
And so Yeah, and your attunement and spells, they work like spells work like the Estus flasks do, where you equip them, and then at each bonfire they regenerate.
Oh,
There's
cool.
no mana.
Nice.
You just get a certain number of uses. So like really powerful spells you might only get to use once or twice. But more common, easy stuff, you might get 10, 15 shots off
Alright.
before you have to regenerate. Resistance is kind of like a generic stat. It increases a lot of stuff, but it's utterly pointless, and no one ever puts points into it ever.
Okay.
It's never put anything into resistance.
Okay.
Okay, and then you get your damage dealing strats. Strength, dexterity, resistance, intelligence. And how damage in this game works is it's two ways. Because each weapon has a stat requirement for it. So like, it might be strength of 10 and a dexterity of 15. And you need to meet those stats to be able to use it. But then weapons will also have scaling. So the higher the scaling is, the more damage it will get from that stat. So if a weapon has like an A rating in strength, it might double its effectiveness if you have high strength. So it might do 200 attack, but then if you have 30 strength, it'll get an additional 200 attack.
Per hit.
Yeah. So it kind of encourages specializing. Because you want to specialize in something to deal more damage. And generally speaking, strength works for increasing like big, heavy, slow weapons. Will get better. Dexterity increases fast, complicated weapons. Intelligence increases magic damage, and there's a few weapons that have a magic element to it. And you can also upgrade weapons so they get magic damage on them, increases from that.
Okay.
And then faith increases miracle damage in faith-based weapons.
Okay, so the four things that increase damage, depending on what your weapon is: strength, dexterity, intelligence, and faith.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and miracles are kind of like spells. They're generally more support than offense. Almost all spells are offensive, and there are a couple offensive miracles, but most of them are defensive. It's a lot of healing, shields, stuff like that.
Right.
Stuff to keep you alive.
Okay. What should I? In your expert opinion, what would I do right now?
Well, it kind of depends on what you want to do. There's a lot of ways you can go about like making a good character in this game. And that's one of the reasons I like it, is because you can basically be anything. Do you want to be like the big hulking warrior who can like tank anything? Can like get hit by the strongest attack in the game and raise your like giant ass shield and take it and smack somebody in the face.
Take it like a man.
Smack somebody in the face with an 8-foot long sword.
Well, I'd rather be the.
You want to be the fast dude?
I want to be like a thief bandit type guy. Just
you want to be a hybrid?
Quick on his feet, just jab, jab,
Okay,
jab, jab.
well, I have a really good build for that.
Okay.
There's a really good idea for that. It's Crystal Magic Weapon. Crystal Magic is one of the best spells in the game. And now what it does, if you take a weapon with really high dexterity scaling, and then you cast that spell on it, you deal like insane damage really, really, really fast. So you can take something and deal like... You can take like a normally kind of slow, weak weapon and make it incredible. And it's one of like the best builds to do early in the game.
Oh, sure, yeah, let's do that.
So yeah, we'll do that.
Alright, so...
For now, I would say level up your dexterity. Just put everything you've got into dexterity.
Okay, well, that's all I have, huh?
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
All right. Do it.